Hi, I'm Linda Stephens. I thought I would show you a short desk break stretch sequence because there are three things that happen during the day when we're at our desk for extended periods. One, we tend to start to lose our alignment. Our posture starts to get rounded with the head poking forward as we're at those emails. And of course, this is the same weight as a Christmas turkey, 8 to 10 pounds. So when we've got our head poking forward, that strain on our neck and our upper back is immense, and it can lead to all sorts of pain and tension problems. Number two is our breathing. So when our shoulders start to collapse forward, when we're at those emails for extended periods, when our head is poking forward, we stop breathing diaphragmatically. We start to hold our breath and just chest breathe. And this has a huge impact on our clarity of thought and also just on how our whole body functions. Number three is when we're sitting for extended periods, we tend to get stiff hips and pain in the lower back, and often our posture starts to slouch. So we need to be moving, mobilizing, stretching hip flexors in particular so that we don't seize up. So for this practice, you just need your desk chair and a blanket or a small towel will do, and just a little bit of space. So without further ado, I'm going to stand up, move my chair to the side, and invite you to come and join me. So I'm going to get you just to stand and first of all mobilize the shoulders, especially if they are stuck in that full position. We want to drop them back so they sit at the back of the shoulder girdle. So take some big stretches up and back. And as you're doing this rotation with slightly soft knees, see if you can wriggle your jaw as well. Make a bit of noise. Wriggle your jaw. Notice how much tension you are holding in your jaw. Like so. Lovely. Couple of those big circles so that the shoulders can just slide down your back. Now drop your head. Feel that stretch in the back of your head. Drop your shoulders and then roll the whole of your shoulder girdle around in a circle. Nice big massaging circle so that we can start to get some movement in that thoracic part of our spine, right where the diaphragm is, so right where we get stuck. One direction, other direction, big slow circles. Let your shoulders drop, lift, slide, drop, lift, slide. Beautiful. And then coming all the way back up again. Hands on hips and big circles with the pelvis. Take some nice long smooth breaths, and as you breathe in, see if you can imagine your breath is pouring down into your lower belly and then spreading out here underneath the armpits where your ribs are, and then lastly up towards your clavicles. Nice big circles. If you want to create more space for that breathing, take the arms up and out. Shoulders are down, a little bit of activation through the upper back muscles. One direction, other direction, nice big hip circles. This gets good vascular flow around our pelvic organs and just kind of loosens everything up. That's the way. I'm going to get you to do some swishes now. So take your fingers nice and wide, drop your shoulders down your back, and stretch your fingertips out as you press your hands through space. Bending the knees, extending the knees. This is like a little reboot for the computer. All the nerves of the body connecting to the spine. And we're just kind of rinsing the spine here as we create this lovely gentle twist. Imagine you're pushing your hands around in water, maybe a lovely aquamarine sea if you were on holiday. Lovely big breath. Good. Bring it back, take all the weight into one leg and come up onto your other toes, and then bring the knee in and take your hands in the opposite direction in a swish with the hands. So it's an Elvis twist, bringing the knee in. So what this does, it mobilizes the muscles, the rotator muscles around the hip joint. So if you are finding you get stiff hips, lower back pain, this is a really, really good one to do. Swirling, swirling, and other direction. Weight through that standing leg. Make sure you're not pushing into the front of your foot. Make sure your weight is in the heel, and then we'll just bring the knee across the midline. Swish, swish, swish. That's it. Beautiful. Now, come into a goddess or God stance with your feet slightly out, hands just above your knees like so. If standing isn't so comfortable, you could always just slide your sitting bones onto the edge of your chair here. We're going to drop one shoulder, look over the other shoulder. Breathe into the center, drop the other shoulder. Good, breathe in, now go ha as you breathe out. Breathing in, ha as you breathe out. Sigh the breath out as you drop the shoulder, mobilizing the upper back. Imagine you're squeezing out tension, just like you might squeeze out dirty water from a mop. Squeeze. That's it. Now come back and lift your tail behind you. So you're spreading your sitting bones and draw your shoulders away from your ears. Breathing in here and then breathe out to round your back, bringing your tummy button towards your spine and pushing your shoulders up towards the ceiling. Breathe in, shoulders slide down, tail lifts. Breathe out to round. Breathe in, cat and cow, but in a standing position. Breathing out. Great just to mobilize as well. Get rid of that stiff lower back. Breathing in, breathing out. Now this time, as you breathe in, leave your sitting bones behind you and then just swish your hips from side to side. Imagine you have a tail and you're just swishing your tail from side to side, showing it off, showing it off, showing it off. That's it. Swish. Now make the swish a little bit longer and slower. So we start to stretch into these inner thigh muscles, these adductor muscles. I'm going to get you to pause on this side, pull your toes back, keep your sitting bones lifted behind you, keep this knee on top of your heel so that you're not dropping it in or pushing it out too much. You're getting a good stretch here on these adductors. When they become really tight, it affects pelvic floor function, it affects lower back. So we want to make sure that these guys get a regular stretch. Like so, give them a rub. And let's just take that shoulder up and back as well. Oh, get a bit of a twist through this mid-back area. And swap to the other side, so lifting tail, lifting toes, rub the inner thigh. Here we go. Rub, 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 rub. And let's just lift that elbow as well. Very good. Push the floor away, slowly come up, roll those shoulders and then interlace your hands and place your hands behind your head. I'm going to get you to take your feet so they are parallel and about hip width apart. Push down and slightly out so you can feel your inner arches lifting and you can feel a bit of activation through your outer thigh muscles and into your bum. Draw the base of the ribcage in, so we're not flaring here. And I'm going to get you to do the opposite of the head poke. So start with the head poke and then pull your chin in. Give yourself a double chin and press the head into your interlaced hands. And then let your head drop forward again and then pull it back. Now you don't want to drop your head too much. Imagine you have a little egg just underneath your chin here. So you don't want to squash the egg. We're just putting our chin straight back. So push your head forward and then straight back. Let it drop forward and then straight back. Forward one more time, straight back. Pause here. Now imagine you are a kitten and a mother cat has just picked you up by the scruff of the neck. That's the sensation we want to have to get our head stacking on top of our neck correctly. Elbows back now and shoulders sliding down. Elbows back, shoulders sliding down. We've created lots of space here so we can breathe diaphragmatically. So to spend these next couple of moments slowing and stretching your breath, letting the breath pour down as you inhale. Stretch right out here and then up towards your chest last of all. And as you breathe out, it's almost like water pouring out of a vase. You're starting from the top and then emptying right down towards the bottom of the lungs. Stretch stretching those ribs out to the side as you breathe. Keep the elbows back, the shoulders sliding down your back. Nice loose jaw. Give it a wriggle. Good. One more. Fantastic. Slide one hand down your thigh, other hand up and over, lateral stretch. So we want to fan the ribs out to the side, get into the intercostal muscles between the ribs, and breathe nice and deeply here. Good. Slide the hand down, but leave the head where it is for a moment. Just get a stretch into the neck. And then bend the knees and slowly draw your head back up again. Take that on the other side, sliding down with the hand, up and over with the other hand. Good. Breathing into the side, so it feels like you are focusing your breath on that right lung. And then taking the hand down, getting a nice stretch into the neck area. Always bend the knees. I'm just going to drop my head this time and slowly roll it up. Now we can use the chair for triangle pose. So I'm going to get you to take one foot directly forward towards your chair and the other foot is turned in, so about 45 degrees. You keep your legs pretty straight and you just roll your back hip forward. Imagine like a train wheel, rolling forward, rolling forward. Stretch the arm out, drop it down onto the seat. Get rid of that blanket. And then take the other arm up towards the ceiling. If that doesn't suit your shoulder, hand on the shoulder and elbow up, or hand on the hip and elbow back. So let's just stretch into the spine here. Lovely stretch for the spine. And then see if you can take the hand back a little bit more, or the shoulder back a little bit more, and then look down towards the ground. So we stretch now into these scalenes, down into this area, the pectoral muscles. Good. And then let's take a rotation with that top arm as well. Bend into the front knee, push the floor away, slide your way up. We'll do that on the other side. So foot forward, other foot back. It's about 1 meter between your feet. And then rolling that back hip forward, hand down on the seat of your chair. One shoulder stacking on top of the other shoulder, and then hand up towards the ceiling. We'll try hand on hip and elbow back. So take a nice deep full breath in. Imagine you are spreading the breath all through the back of your lungs. And then go ahead and see if you can take the fingertips back a tiny bit further as you look down towards the seat of your chair. And that just gives us a bit more of a thoracic stretch and twist here. This helps us to be able to breathe better. Lovely. Slowly come into a tabletop. Now, hands either on the seat of your chair, stretching back, so it's a little bit more of a supported downward dog, or hands on the top of the chair. Now, you want to have your shoulders rolling away from your ears. So you need to take your hands onto the outer edges of your chair and take your thumbs up so your little fingers are dropping down. That'll help you externally rotate your shoulders, armpits facing down, and avoid us doing the rounding thing in the upper back. Now you need to bend the knees as much as you need to in order to create a straight back. So much better to be here than here. So creating a nice straight back, base of the rib cage drawing in, a little bit of a sucking up sensation through the lower belly. And once you're here, you might want to push the floor down and out with your feet and slowly lift your sitting bones to extend into the hamstrings as well. So lovely tractioning stretch on the spine. Very good. Bend the knees and roll your way up. We'll come into a lunge. So take one foot forward. This is my right foot. Now either hands on the seat here and just pushing back through the heel of your extended foot, or drop the knee down to the ground. So whatever option feels better for you. We're going into the hip flexors here, the psoas muscles, they attach into your lower back. So when we do too much sitting and they get tight, you tend to feel it in your lower back. Shoulders away from ears. Now if you're wanting to extend this, you might even take the hand up towards the ceiling. Nice full deep breath. Stretching, opening, lengthening. And then just swapping sides. So either dropping down here or maybe coming into the higher version. Keep the shoulders dropping away from your ears and maybe even opening up the front line of the body even more with hand up towards the ceiling. That's the way. And then one more stretch out for the spine. Give your head a shake and make a bit of noise like this. Fantastic. Roll your way back up again. Give your shoulders a drop. I'm going to get you to switch on the two hemispheres of the brain. You can do this sitting down on the edge of your chair, and we can do this as slowly or as fast as suits us. So basically, right and left hemispheres of the brain. You want to take the hand across the body, and with a breath out, lift your knee with your hand, place it down. Breathing out to lift and drop down. And it can be just a little lift, like so. Or it might be a bigger lift and a hold to challenge the balance. Up and down, and up and down, and up. And if you need to just do a few on one side to get that movement. And then a few on the other side. Breathing out, so controlled balances, that's it. And then try doing across the body, across the body, across the body. Fabulous. Take a nice deep breath in. Inside out. And then just come and sit on your chair for a moment. I'm going to get you to open up the shoulders and open up the hips. So let's start with the shoulders here. So I'm going to get you just to lift and roll, and lift and roll, lift and roll, and lift and roll, and drop the shoulders down. Take one arm, it's my right arm, keep it straight and drop it across your body. Nice and straight here. Nice shoulders down, not up here. And then lock it into place with the other arm. Press out gently with the straight arm. Press in gently with the bent arm. And you can feel the stretch right here. And then you might want to take your head and drop it over towards your hand, so that side. Imagine your ear is lifting up towards the ceiling. Gently lifting up. As you breathe out, let the shoulders slide down. Good. Come into the center. Draw your fingertips back. Shoulders are down. Stretch out through fingers. And then the other side. Nice straight arm. Lock it into place. Draw the shoulders down. Gently pressing out with the straight arm. Gently pulling in with the bent arm. And then lifting your ear up towards the ceiling gently. Dropping the other ear down towards your hands. And then just letting those shoulders slide down. Let's get rid of the tension around the jaw. So draw the chin in, take your thumb and first finger and start to pinch from your chin out towards your ears. And when you get to the masseter muscles at the connection of the lower jaw to the upper jaw, just give yourself a few big pinching movements in circles here to really massage into any tension you might be holding. Squeeze and pinch. And you can do the same thing but with circling backwards. Imagine you're unwinding the screws, the imaginary screws that are a bit tight on those jaw muscles, massaging them here. And then a swish and a swish down, bit of pressure here, swish and swish and swish. Good. And give a pat to your chest and make a bit of noise as you breathe out. So there's this nice loose fists. And patting into any tension around the neck area. Lovely. Take yourself to the end of your chair. Take one ankle on top of the knee. Now you want to pivot forward through the hip joints. So you're not rounding like so. We're just pivoting through the ball and socket joint here until we feel that nice stretch into your gluteal muscles and into the hip area. Just holding this stretch. There's actually a lovely acupressure point right in your foot. So if your feet are bare right now, you could take your thumb and just where the pink bit intersects into the white bit at the top of your foot, underneath the ball of the foot, in the center there, if you press quite firmly, and then breathe into the stretch as you wind slightly forward again. This tells the nervous system that it's safe to relax. Helps us go into that rest and digest state. So really nice to release those hips. And then let's take that onto the other side. Knee out and just hinging forward until you feel the stretch. Good. Maybe massaging into that same point. That's it. So we always want to have the heart center open and the shoulders dropping down the back, and ideally the sensation of a mother cat lifting us up through the scruff of the neck. So chin is in, and it's like the back of the head is pushing back and slightly up, creating space between your ears and your shoulders. Lovely. Now last of all, I just wanted to show you how you can sit well without ending up slouching. If you take a blanket or your towel and you want to sit with your bottom right at the back of your chair, and then rather than putting something down at the bottom here in the lumbar spine, ideally to have our core muscles switched on, we have what's called a J in our spine. So we're nice and straight, and then we have our little lumbar curve at the back. So that means there's a gap here. We need to support around that thoracic area, around, if you're a lady and you're wearing a bra, your bra strap area at the bottom of your shoulder blades. So if you take a towel, you just kind of roll it like so, and then you lift and drop one shoulder and then the other shoulder. Slide your prop just behind your shoulders like that, and then rearrange your head again. So imagine that mother cat has picked you up by the scruff of the neck. And just notice how it's so much easier to stay in alignment when you've got this prop here. You will feel a little bit of activation through your deep core muscles. It's much easier to breathe. You've got space to breathe when your shoulders are sliding down and back as opposed to forward. So that's just a little tip there. And I thought we'd finish this practice with a really quick way to get out of your head and into your body. A breath practice, a pranayama practice that I find super useful. It's quite an active practice. So it helps us to go very quickly. The idea is that we start to increase the carbon dioxide in the body, and this is what you do. We'll just do 3 rounds. So you take a couple of regular breaths in and out, nice relaxed breath, and then you take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, you just count to 10 quickly, as many times as you can. You repeat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And once you've run out of puff, you might have a little bit more there to just whisper 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then before you get totally out of puff, when you can still just breathe in and out in a relaxed fashion, you take a couple of breaths and then you repeat the exercise. So we'll do 3 rounds together. Let's have a go. Okay, so you're in your nice aligned posture. Take a couple of regular breaths. Take a nice deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Couple of regular breaths. Deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. So you work with your breath. You don't need to be extending the breath as long as I do. Go with your rhythm. You might need a few extra breaths in between sessions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And just noticing how the air feels against your skin, really noticing the velvety contact. Notice how relaxed you can make the muscles around your eyes, between your eyebrows, how relaxed you can make your cheeks and your jaw. Just imagine that you have a crown placed at the top of your head and a lovely heavy ermine cloak over your shoulders, and just enjoy the sense of peace and just ease in the body for a few moments. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks so much for joining me. Namaste.